Be consistent and you'll see results. Well, I don't have time for that. I'm a mom. I can barely find time to wash my hair and dry it afterwards. If you're like that, then this video is for you. Old-fashioned mom guilt prevents us from taking care of ourselves. And if you think what kind of mom would take solo time and just, you know, not think of anyone else but her, turns out a pretty good one, because you need that time for yourself. I'm the mom of a 4-year-old, and I'm going to share in this video how I squeeze the time to pamper myself and to take care of myself. If you ever watched a video on a DIY mask or just pampering videos in general, I know I do watch them sometimes, they always say, and I'm one of those people because I have a few videos on masks as well, people say about masks, be consistent, you know, and then you'll see the results. And it's true, you have to be consistent with a particular ingredient. Keep applying that mask so you can see the results. But who has time for consistency if you can barely find time to even apply the mask in the first place? Maybe you find some time to apply it once, and then for another year you don't have the time anymore. It's understandable you struggle for time if you're a mom. How can you be consistent when you can barely have time to maybe wash your hair? It takes effort to change from pajamas into clothes some days. We all have days like that. I have them too, and I had plenty of them, and I will still do probably. As much as I want to think I won't, but I struggle for time as well, and it's very hard to find the time. It's true, I only have one child, but I imagine that with 2 or 3 children it's even harder or more. So how do you find the time, right? So this is the way I do it. Sometimes in the morning I choose to make a mask after the morning shower, and that's perfect because my pores will be open then, and that helps with the mask sinking in, doing its thing, you know. And so sometimes I just go in the shower, and after the shower I just take a mask from my cupboard. It's really a good idea to have them all in the vicinity of your shower or in the bathroom there, so they can be in a convenient place, so you can just grab whatever you need and put it on your face, you know, without having to go in another room or without having to look for something. It's great to have them there next to you. I just grab one of those and I put it on after my morning shower. The second version is I can do this whilst having my morning coffee. As soon as I wake up, most of the time I need a coffee. I can function without a coffee, and if you're a parent you might really rely on coffee as well, because otherwise, if you ask me my name, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to tell you. I don't know anything. I'm like a zombie. I can't function without the coffee. And so I go downstairs, I make myself a coffee, and that's when I kind of plan it in my head. I think, okay, I'm gonna just have a mask, you know, I'm just gonna make a mask. I didn't have one like a week or a few days, whatever the mood is, because I don't have them every week either, you know. Depends on the mood. Sometimes I can be bothered, but if I want to have a mask, to do a mask, then I'm going to prepare it when I go and grab my morning coffee. Just gonna grab a little bowl, mix some yogurt, mix some honey or turmeric in there, whatever. I don't know what this mask is, but I just like saying ingredients. Just take them from your cupboard, put them in the bowl, mix them together, and then I go and I apply this mask whilst I'm having my morning beverage. And that's the perfect moment in which I can also enjoy, you know, a mask on my face or on my hair. Sometimes I mix some oils and put them in a bowl, warm them up in the micro, sometimes fast, you know, to be like a warm oil hair mask. And I do that whilst my coffee is being made, where I make my coffee. And then I just apply this thing whilst I'm having my coffee. I think I said the word coffee many times in this video so far, so sorry. But that's how I do it in the morning. Then I just leave these masks on to work their magic, either it's on my hair or on my face, whilst my son starts with his requests, his day requests, you know. Mommy, I'm hungry. Mommy, you know, I need to be changed. Mommy, I had a poo. Whatever that might be, you then know that you're such a goddess at multitasking, you know. You have a mask on, you have a coffee, you do your toddler's nappy and change him, you know, everything. And that already for me feels like I accomplished the things that I want to do as well, and I'm not just the doing the things for my child, that's it, and nothing else for me, you know. I know whilst I'm having a mask that I'm doing stuff for myself as well. And after I remove it, guess what? I feel good, I feel refreshed, I feel like I did the thing that I wanted to do. So the way to do this in the morning is kind of to plan it a bit in your head, you know, not one day before, but I usually just plan it ahead, like a few minutes before I grab my coffee. I'm like, I think I'm gonna do a mask, and maybe I can mix some honey with some whatever, you know, or I can maybe a tube mask. Maybe I can just put this on and I just open my cupboard there, because I keep them all in the vicinity of my area where I know I'll be in the mirror and do the things, you know. So that's how it works for me. I just do it in the morning. You can definitely start with 5 minutes for yourself, and then it's just gonna get a bit more easier, hopefully, you know, because you're gonna feel like, you know, I can do this. I can find some time for myself. I can find some time for mama. We have so much to give as mothers. Therefore, we have to take care of ourselves, because like that, you'll feel better in your body, in your head, in your, you know, and your skin, and then you'll feel like you're happy to just give, because we give and give and give as mothers, but we don't take time for ourselves enough. And therefore, for me, I think that's, for me, self-care is very important to make you feel happy and therefore reflect that happiness upon your family. Other times when I put a mask on is in the evening after I put my son to bed, and I'm maybe in the mood for applying a mask on and having a bath or something. You can just do that after you're putting your children to bed. You can have a bath, you can apply a mask then. There are days in which you can wait for the day to end and just have some rest, because all day you've been working hard, you've been cleaning or cooking or entertaining your toddler or children, you know. And there are days in which you feel like you can't be bothered to do much, and you're already tired when the day starts. I have days like that too, and I really struggle sometimes. It's very hard. It's very hard some days. Children are hard work. And it takes a lot of dedication and a lot of work, and I know this. When I'm home with my son, he's basically all over me. He's like, doesn't even let me cook or do anything without being very close in the vicinity. I literally have to unglue him from my leg or something. There are days in which I have my son with me at home when he's not at the nursery, and it can be very exhausting being home with the child, entertaining that child. Maybe you have to cook and clean or do other things in between. It actually rhymes. By the end of the day, you're exhausted and you think, oh, I can't be bothered to do anything else. All I want to do now is just sit on the sofa, watch TV, and you know, there are days in which you can't wait for the day to just end, and you want to sit on the sofa, watch some TV, eat some nice chocolate and have a glass of wine. There are days like that, and plenty of those. But there are evenings in which I can find the time to think, well, you know what, maybe I should have a bath. I find it very relaxing in the evening to just run a bath. And well, for bubbles, I don't have those sphere that people have. I always forget to buy stuff like that. They're really nice to have in the house, but I always forget to get them. And to be honest, I don't want to spend on stuff like that, because I know I have the bubbles from my son, you know, the ones that he uses, the bath bubbles. So that makes bubbles enough, and it's hydrating because it's for children. It's designed for children, and therefore I think they're much healthier, like hydrating for the skin, than any other sphere might be that I might buy. So I just use that, you know. I just put a bit of the Johnson's bubble bath, and I create enough bubbles for me to be happy with. You don't even have to stay long in the bath, you know. It only takes like 10 minutes, just soak in there a bit, even less. And before you get in, you can apply a nice mask. I like to apply my masks keeping in mind the areas. Some areas are dry, some are oily. My T-zone usually is oilier, and I apply different masks on different areas of my face. I just apply it, I just relax in the bath. You can even get a glass of wine with you, and you will really feel pampered, because you deserve it after a whole day of work, because it is work, you know, having to entertain a child, cleaning, cooking, and everything else that you might do. And that moment in which you step into a bath and just relax with a glass of wine or without the wine, whatever, It's a bliss, to be honest. It's bliss. And oh my god, I used to underestimate these moments back in the day when I used to be a teenager. Oh, these are just true moments of happiness for me now. True moments of happiness when I, grab a glass of wine, go into a bath, put a mask on, have a shower, or have a piece of chocolate or many pieces of chocolates in the weekend, right? Because it's the weekend. So it's very important to look after yourself and your mental happiness, if I can say that. I know how important that is. I struggled with some postnatal depression for a while, but that's another subject that I can speak about in some other video probably. Let me know if you want to hear about that and how I went through that and how I got rid of it. Yeah, these things can really help. Pampering moments can really help your mind and your heart. It can make you feel better. So I think that's very important. I also try and take advantage of the moments in which he's at the nursery. He goes at the nursery just 2.5 days a week, and sometimes when he's at the nursery I take advantage, and that's when I pamper myself with a mask for hair or for skin, whatever. I don't do that every week. I can be bothered sometimes, or I'm not in the mood, or I'm too lazy, or I'm too busy with other things, and therefore, I don't do it. It's very hard for me too, and it's a struggle, and I know it. But those moments in which he's at the nursery, it's another time when I could take for myself for 5 minutes or 10 minutes, before I start doing the things that I have to do with the day. And I don't do masks every week when he's at the nursery either, but that time is also very useful, in which I try and take advantage of that. So the time in which your children might be at the nursery or with your parents, or just take advantage of that time. Just think about yourself as well. Start small, start with 5 minutes. In the weekend my husband is home as well, and therefore I can take advantage of the fact that my son is distracted with my husband, and he might spend time with him as well, and he kind of gives me a bit of more space so I can get other things done, like do my toenails or something, which it's a bliss when that happens as well, because I feel like I don't have enough time to get that done as well. And anyway, that's so I struggle as well for time, but I have to kind of plan it in my head. Okay, today is Saturday, my husband is home, so maybe I can do my toenails. That's the way I kind of plan it in my head for it. Let's face it, it's it's more affordable to do it yourself, even though it's nice to go to a place and pay for the service and just get it done. That's even better, but not all of us can do that all the time or very often, and therefore you have to kind of find time to do it yourself. I try to do everything myself. If I could dye my hair by myself, I would do it, trust me. That's how much I want to save, and I really like to rely on myself when it comes to waxing or doing my toenails, my manicure. So I try to avoid going to a salon and paying for that service, even though I know it sounds terrible probably, but it just saves money, and I prefer spending that money on a makeup palette or something makeup, because I love makeup and I'm fascinated with makeup, and I prefer just spending those £30 or 50. I don't even know how much is a pedicure, a toenail. I don't even know how much is a pedicure, a manicure, or a waxing session or eyebrow thingy. I don't know, because I don't go to those things. I wax by myself everywhere. I do my manicure, but I don't know particularly good job, but as long as I keep them clean, right? And I should focus more on them, because most of the time I don't even put nail polish on, because I don't have time, and then I wash dishes and then the nail polish just goes off, and you know what I mean if that happens to you as well. If you're a mom, you know what I mean. And that's why you see me, if you've watched my videos, and if you did, thank you, but that's why you see me without nail polish, because I don't have time. And I'm thinking, oh, what's the point? I'm gonna wash dishes or wash the bathrooms or something, and then it's just gonna peel off, and then what's the point? Sometimes I do feel the need to put some nail polish on, and I've put this one on. I'm very proud of myself. He's probably gonna run off in like a day or two with washing some dishes, or when he's gonna come back from the nursery, because now he's at the nursery. That's why I have time to do this video, to make this video. So yeah, I prefer saving that money and doing everything by myself. The only thing I cannot do myself, and I tried that too, is trimming my split ends, you know, cutting my hair or dyeing my hair. If I could do those, I would be very happy, but I can't. I know the struggle is so hard to find time. Do you know how many days of frustration I have that I can't get everything that I want done? It's very hard, and it just leads me almost to be really sad at the end of a week if I don't manage to do everything and accomplish everything that I wanted, that I had on my list. We all have that mom guilt, and we all feel like we cannot be bothered most of the time to also do something for yourself, because you feel like, I don't need to do that, it's not something that, you know, it's a must or something. But it will make you feel better, it will make you feel happier, and just feel better in your skin and in your just head, you know, it will make you feel better. You have to take care of yourself, and sometimes you have to put yourself first. For example, when you go in a plane and they do that kind of safety procedure at the beginning of a flight, and they tell you first, if anything, you know, in case of an emergency, the masks are gonna fall down. They advise you to put your mask first and take care of yourself first before you attempt to take care of any other people around you. And I always think, it's funny this, because I always, each time they say that, I always catch myself thinking in my subconscious somehow, I think, oh, I think I would do it first for my son, you know, I would put his mask first, because I would freak out and I would want him to be safe first. Probably that's the way I kind of am. I notice I become quite desperate, and I can't think clear if anything's wrong, especially with my son. I'm like, oh my god, you know, I'm not really good under pressure. And my husband is more calm on this regard, so that's so good that he's like that. I wish I would be more like that, but I'm always thinking I would try and help him first, though. I wouldn't help myself first. And it's no good, isn't it? Because I would probably end up fainting or something, God forbid, like, you know, and then I would be no good for anyone else. So I would have to take care of making sure I'm safe first, so I can be of help to others. And that's the same way in which motherhood can function. You have to take the time for self-care before you can think of caring for others, because if you're taking care of and you're happy, then you have happiness to give to others. You can give from the happiness, and God knows moms have to give a lot, and therefore you have to make sure you put yourself first sometimes and take care of yourself and your own needs. I really hope this video helps. I just wanted to share how I squeeze in the pampering in my time. I kind of always and every day try. Some days I'm more successful at it than others. We all have days like that. They're there. If you're a parent, they are there. Even if you're not a parent, even if you may be overworked, you are a priority. Your well-being, your health and wellness is a priority. Please let me know if this video helped you, and leave me a comment down below. Let me know how you find the time and how you squeeze the pampering into your routine, especially if you're a mom, you're someone that's busy. Let me know. Don't forget to also subscribe so we can keep in touch. Thank you so much for watching, and happy pampering. Bye!